I didn't start learning English because it was easy. I didn't start learning English because anyone promised it would be fun. I started because life demanded it. Because opportunities, friends, work, and sometimes even dignity, seemed to hinge on words I didn't know how to say. At first, English was like a wall I couldn't climb. Letters were strange, sounds were sharp, and sentences refused to obey my mind. I spoke slowly, haltingly, each word like carrying a heavy stone, and the people around me, they laughed. Sometimes openly, sometimes quietly, but the laughter stung the same. Every mistake was magnified. Every hesitation made me feel small. I remember the day I tried to tell a story in English at school or at work, and someone laughed so hard that I wanted to disappear. That moment replayed in my mind again and again like a video on loop. Some nights I cried quietly to myself. I asked, why is this so hard? Why can't I just get it? Why am I so slow? I even thought about giving up. Maybe English wasn't for me. Maybe I wasn't enough. But something inside me refused to quit. It was stubbornness, or maybe pride, or maybe a tiny spark of hope that whispered, I can do this. I will do this. And so, even when it hurt, I went back. I listened to English on the radio, even when I understood almost nothing. I read books, words jumbling together at first, then slowly making sense. I wrote sentences, crossing out and rewriting again and again. I spoke, even when my voice shook. I stumbled, I mispronounced, I used the wrong words, but I kept speaking. Sometimes in those moments the laughter still came. And sometimes I laughed at myself too, because what else could I do? I learned to take the pain and turn it into determination. Slowly, very slowly, things began to change. Words that once felt impossible started to feel familiar. Sentences that twisted my tongue became clear. One day, I realized I could speak a little faster, then a little more naturally, then one day I told a story in English and no one laughed. Someone even smiled genuinely, like they understood me perfectly. Every laugh I had endured became a stone I carried in my pocket. But instead of weighing me down, the stone strengthened me. Every mistake became a lesson. Every awkward moment became proof of my courage. By the time I truly learned English, I was no longer the person who stumbled over words. I was the person who had survived the struggle and thrived. English was no longer a wall. It became a bridge. A bridge to opportunities, to new friends, to confidence I didn't know I had. And now when I speak with pride, knowing that the language that once mocked me is now a part of my power. I didn't just learn English. I conquered it. And that is far stronger than any laughter could ever be. So you should go on despite all challenges. Believe in yourself and study harder and harder every day. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Love you all.